Yes, guys, this is Nitty Laston and welcome. In this video, what we're going to be doing is breaking down the map Combine, just looking at some of the best tips and spots on this particular map to actually use it to your advantage. Now, straight away, this is probably the most obvious one, is as soon as you're behind here, you'll be able to control this kind of area. The only thing that you definitely want to be mindful of, though, is you are blind spotted for people rushing through this particular doorway, and obviously you can be flanked down through the back of this door as well. But in this particular room, straight away, if you find yourself killing people out in these particular open areas, you get rushed up into this room, you get caught up in here. The best kind of spots are these three corners. The one I'm stood in, that one, and that one over there. This one's the best place if people are going to be coming through this kind of direction, because as soon as they come rushing through there, you can take them out. But you've got to be mindful of this kind of long line of sight, because as soon as people just spawn there, they can take you out quite easily. So in this particular corner is a lot better, because if people come rushing in, they can still run straight past you. You can control this. It's not such a long line of sight, and you can easily take them out, and then people can then come through this door, they're blind spotted, and you can take out the enemies quite easily. This is the best spot straight away. If you know enemies are being spawned from this kind of area, get yourself up into this corner. As soon as you know that they're being spawned, then as soon as they come rushing in, you can take out multiple enemies. Make sure, though, if there's 2 or 3 people being spawned there, if there's a UAV up and you know that they're there, make sure you let the first couple of people in, maybe 1, maybe 2 people, then take out the last one and then move on to the other ones. Don't shoot the first person, because the other people know exactly where you are and you find yourself in a hell of a gun battle. Now, moving on to this particular room. Now, as soon as you're in here, now you can actually use this then to actually pick people off coming around the corner, not quite expecting it, but you don't really want to be standing out. As soon as you're out in this kind of area, straight away, there's so many places that you actually can die for. People can pick you from there, up on this little bit here, and from these long lines of sight, especially head glitching from over there as well. And also, you can actually be flanked, as we know, from this particular area. Now, if you find yourself in this room and people are going to be coming through here, what they tend to do is they will come rushing in like this, and they come rushing past you. If you are in this particular corner, this is their blind spot. They do not see you to the very last second, and when they do, you've got the advantage and you'll be able to put them down. It's only when the enemies are destined to really be looking for you that they'll actually go and do it, but most people will actually run straight past you. Now, this is another little spot. Now, what you want to be doing up here, guys, is definitely crouching down, and you can either control this kind of area if you're thinking that they might be coming through, but you do want to watch people running from this side, because you are seriously blind spotted then. So what I tend to do is I try and use my weapon just to keep it in the middle and just keep myself strafing, so that if people come rushing through, which 9 times out of 10 people will always come from this kind of angle, and then you'll be able to take them out. But make sure you keep moving, because multiple enemies come rushing through, and also you can easily be flanked. But when you are on the move, definitely be watching for this, because people love to be laying down here, and they definitely love to be laying down there as well. So just be mindful when you doing that. So what I would say, though, if you do find that multiple enemies are going to be coming through here, use this kind of area to your advantage, because what they're going to do is they're going to come rushing up that stairs, drop down here. Be mindful of this particular area here, because people can pick you off, but as soon as you drop down, if no one's there, straight away move, control this kind of bit, control this door, and then come through here, because what they're doing is they're going to follow the line of gunfire where you're last shooting from. What you find is 10 people will run straight from here, they'll run straight up there, come back round here, flank them, shoot them, and then move on straight away. And then you can straight away drop down. As soon as you drop down, use this bit as cover, because what you're going to find straight away is either people are going to be flanking up through here, or through the window, or through this particular point here. Now, if people come through here, you can easily pick them off, or you can use this as cover to try and take people out, depending on what kind of scenario is there for you. This little corner here is not too bad, guys. I mean, you can obviously be able to take enemies out, but you are quite exposed. People can shoot you through the window, people can come up through here, up through the top as well, and as soon as you come up into this kind of area, you're into that head glitching area straight away. So I would tend to say, if you shoot someone or take someone down, definitely be on the move straight away afterwards. Now let's move on to this lane bit. Now with this, The most obvious place straight away is this one here. Now, people are so wise to it that they just run straight past, or they've got a better weapon than you. If they've got a better shot, you're just going to find yourself being headshotted straight away. What I like to do is just lay down up on here. What you find is that people come rushing through. They look down these two lines of sights, looking for people camping, but they hardly ever look up here. They only notice this bit at the very last second. By that time, you should already have your shot on them. On this particular bit is to sit right here. Now, as soon as you sit here, what you're going to find is that people can come through here, which you're going to be covering, and then either they'll run straight past you, up across the wall, and then you can take out the enemies quite easily. Just don't push too far forward so that you're caught out into this long line of sight as well. But this is definitely the best little spots for this particular lane as well. So straight away up there is as you go. Another little spot that people are tending to use quite a lot is obviously this one. This is one of the most popular spots trying to control this room. Now, in this particular room, what you find is that people love to be camping. Now, you definitely don't want to be doing this. Now, if you know that people are going to be rushing through this door, which a lot of people tend to do, they either come from there or from there. What you want to watch from this particular side, though, is that people are looking for these long lines of sight straight away. But if they come rushing through there, you can take out one or two enemies, but definitely be on the move because you can have flashbangs, grenades, everything else coming in here. And there's 1, 2, 3 doors that you can easily be flanked through. So definitely just take out one or two enemies, then be on the move. When you're on the move, though, guys, what I would suggest is not rushing out here. Because as soon as you come rushing out here, unless you know exactly where the enemies are, maybe you know there's someone there you can take them out. But what you're going to find is that people come up from here. As soon as you step out here, there's people in that window. You come across here, they're coming from here, up in that door, and across there. And what you find is some people even hide up there as well, even if this is your side of spawn. So it is a very big problematic area. So what I tend to do, for me personally, unless I actually really know where they are or feel comfortable about going out there, as I try to drop back into this area. If I know they're being spawned up over here, I can drop down into this little corner. What they'll do then is they'll come rushing through, trying to be able to take in this, or even throw their flashbangs and the grenades. They're all land in this particular room here, and then straight away, as they move in, you can take them out. As soon as you take them out, everyone's going to know where you are, even if you're running a suppressor, because they're obviously going to be all spawned very much nearby. I'd definitely be on the move then. As soon as you're on the move, be mindful of obviously the spawns, because as we know with Black Ops 3 and everything else, people are going to be spawned in some crazy little places. So as soon as you get up to here, if you know people are obviously on the other side, as soon as you come up here, be mindful of these corners and be mindful of this particular area here and that bit there. But if you know that people are concentrating, especially down there, as soon as you come around here, now you can flank people. You can take out a couple of enemies there, because what they're doing is they're waiting for this room. You know, they're having a little look through, but what you've done then is you flanked them all the way around here. You've chased all the way up here, take out a couple of enemies, maybe be on the move then. Don't just go and drop straight down, because what you find is that people are tending to rush straight away back into there. Drop back into this little safe area straight away. Then either you can move into this kind of area straight away, use this and control this kind of position, because you're going to easily know when people are running across, and then you can actually use this box then to control the areas that people are running through. Now, what I would say is just hold down this. You can easily move from that point to that point to that point and use this as your personal cover of fire. You could even drop back down to this little truck here. What you find is, especially if you hold down here, depending on what kind of weapon that you're actually using, you can use this control, this long line of sight. People will come rushing down across there, they'll come rushing across there, and they'll all pretty much go running straight into that room. So you can drop down there while they're looking for you, they'll run across there, you take them out and you just move around. And then obviously then when you know that it's safe to actually move on, especially once you've taken out a number of enemies and they're all being spawned up on the other side, you can actually use this then to be able to control and then move on. And then it's depending on what type of game modes and whatnot else, use that kind of thing to your advantage. But this is just a little bit of a rundown, a couple of little tips on the map Combine, just my personal things that I find that works really very well for my personal way that I like to play. If you guys got any better ways of actually doing things on this particular map, it'd be absolutely fantastic to hear from you. Leave everything in the comment section below, and then people can read it and obviously use that to help better their game as well. But anyway guys, this is just my little rundown. I'm going to be doing a little series. Let me know guys whether you're actually enjoying this or whether you're not. Be very interested to hear open for any constructive criticism on how I can actually make this better. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it with you. But coming up on my screen now is my subscribe button. Make sure you're jumping on that. And guys, if you could drop a like on this video and support me, that'd be even better. This is Nitty Last, and I'll catch you later.